Hi guys, Steve Blankard here. Hey, I wanted to do a short demonstration on how to install Mike Hill's Powerhouse electronic voltage regulator, or EVR. Now this is a 5 brush Powerhouse version, and Mike provides some really great detailed instructions, and they're excellent. If you follow them, you can't go wrong. They work really well. But I know how it's helpful to see somebody do it and see it on a video. So I thought I'd go ahead and do one. So I've got a Powerhouse. It's kind of a parts I just put together for this demo. So, but we're going to go ahead and do that. So Mike's EVR. This is Mike's EVR here. You see the circuit board in the bottom side here, and this is what we're going to install. So Mike gives the EVR provides some extra screws and lock washers for it, and the detailed instructions that come along with it. I recommend you look at his instructions, read them, and if you pull them up on your computer screen, you can zoom in and see the photographs that he has that are really good. It's a little better than having them printed out. But what I thought I would do is just kind of go through it step by step, and in real time we'll see how it goes. It's pretty straightforward, but it can be a little tricky getting the terminals mounted and the screws in place and such. So we'll talk about that as we go. So I thought I'd just go ahead and follow his instructions, which you get with the EVR here. So I'm going to skip the preliminary things here. You should all read through though. But once you get down at the bottom of the first page, it starts out, the actual installation process starts on step 8, and that's remove the field coil lead from its post by removing the screw. Remove the field brush and keep it in case you want to. I want to reuse it. So the field brush, I've actually already taken it out here. The field brush would be right in here, and this lead goes on that screw right there. So what you would do is just remove this screw, take this screw out, and you're going to take the screw out and then remove the brush. So I'm going to take the screw out. Now there's two things that connect on this terminal post. There's the field lead and the field brush. So we're going to take the field brush out from the brush holder. Now the field brush is the narrow one. The other 4 brushes are all thicker. So the field brush, this is the adjustable brush. This is the one we're going to remove. The EVR is going to replace the function of that adjustable brush. All right, so just set your screws aside. So that was step 8 at the bottom of page 1. Now from here, we're going to go to the next page 2, and then there's 2 parts of the instruction. There's instructions for a 3-brush Powerhouse and instructions for the 4-brush Powerhouse. So we're going to go down to the 5-brush Powerhouse steps here. So step A is loosen the screw on the output brush 1 post that the output wire is attached to. This enables the connector strip to move freely. So for convenience, I've numbered the brushes here. So output brush 1 is this one. This is the one that connects to the output wire that goes down to the terminal post on the side of the generator. And then there's a bus bar that connects it to the other output brush, which is I've marked as brush 2. Then over here, this is ground 1, ground 2, and then this is the field. So it says to loosen this screw, so it will pivot. So we're going to go ahead and loosen it. Okay, so I'm just going to loosen this right now and not take it off. Okay, so that is step A under the 5-brush Powerhouse instructions. Step B, remove the output brush lead in the 230 position in the picture above from its output post, output brush 2. So output brush 2 is this one. So we're going to take this screw out. Okay, we need to take that screw out. So that is removed the brush from the post there. So it's just loose here for right now. Okay, step C. Before removing the ground brush connector from its post, ground brush 1, carefully bend the terminal connector downward in the orientation shown below. So look at the photograph in his instruction. You can see that clearly. This makes sure the connector terminal will not contact any of the EVR components and stops the spring from moving upward. Okay, so that is this one here. This is ground one. So what you need to do is bend the side of the flag terminal down so it clears the components. Now this one already has it bent down, so I'm not going to do it. I recommend that you take the brush out of the brush holder and put it in a vise or use some pliers to bend it over, because the Bakelite ring here is very fragile, and I don't like the idea of pressing down on it while it's here mounted on the ring. So it really is best to just take this out, and I'm going to go ahead and take it out just to show you. Take the screw out, and I'm going to pull the brush out. Now, I don't know how well you can see this, but this one is bent over already, so it will clear. So that's what you want to do. You want to get it bent like that so it will clear, because the components face down on the EVR and the clearance is really tight in there. So you don't want to have it getting in the way and touching on any of the components. That's very important. So I'm going to put this back in for right now. Okay, so that was, so again, that was step C. So that was about bending the terminal down. All right, and then he's got some more close-up photographs of the terminal and how it mounts, and how you want to make sure it clears. Okay, step D, mount the EVR on the brush holder as shown in the picture above with the components side down. The brush wire terminals are placed between the EVR board and the posts. Okay, so this is it's a little tricky to get everything lined up here. So what I like to do is get these two terminals that go underneath the board, the circuit board, lined up so they sit as close as possible right on top of the post where the screw goes, so they're already lined up. And then I'm going to take the EVR and I'm going to place it over it. Now this is the ground terminal, so screw is going to go through that one. So I'm going to place it down here. And yeah, this is a little fussy to get this all lined up. It's not rocket science, but it can be a little fussy. So what I like to do is I've got a old dental tool that's I've cleaned up and have just a clean point that I can use to reach in there and get the terminal lined up with it. Now Mike provides some longer screws, which are convenient. You want because of the thickness of the EVR, and lock washers. Make sure you use the lock washer on it, and use the two little bit longer screws. Will work really well. So I'm just going to get this one started, hopefully. All right, let's see here. All right, so I just got that one started. Now I want to get the other terminal lined up, and you got to line up both the bus bar and the terminal so the screw will go through it. And if you use a little probe like this, you can get everything lined up and start the screw. Okay, so I've got the screw started. Now I'm not going to tighten all the way yet. Now I'm going to take a little light here. I'm going to look underneath, and I want to make sure that the terminals are not contacting any of the components. And that's really important. Now he's coated some of the components with epoxy. This one here is really close to one component, but he's got it coated with epoxy, so so it won't touch anything, so it's okay. This one here, if you've got that little flag terminal bent just right, and you have the bend in the terminal facing out, I find it clears between the two components there real nicely. All right, so I'm going to just snug these up a little bit by hand. Okay, so that was step D. That was mounting the EVR and connecting these two screws with the terminals. The terminals go up underneath the EVR. Okay, flip the page, and step E. Loosen and slide the field brush holder to align with the slot in the EVR. Tighten the field brush holder screw. The field wire terminal on top of the EVR and the field post. Okay, so as you see here, now Mike has a slot in the EVR. Now this is your adjustable brush holder here. So this one, you just need to loosen it a little bit so you can slide it so the hole lines up in the EVR. Now I've already got this one lined up. But one thing I want to point out, whenever you loosen the screw for this adjustable brush holder, always support the back of the brush ring. This Bakelite brush ring is fragile. So when you're pressing down with a screwdriver, you're putting pressure on that ring. So it's always good practice to support the back of the ring with your finger, just so you're not pressing down against it. And then loosen this screw. Okay, so I'm going to loosen it a little bit here. Okay, so it's loose. So now the brush holder will slide. So you just want to slide it around so it lines up with the slot in the EVR here, and then tighten it down. Again, supporting the back of the Bakelite ring. Okay. Now, okay, so tighten the field brush screw holder, then place the field wire terminal on top of the EVR and the field post. And using the screws and star washers provided, attach the EVR to the output ground post as shown in the above picture. Okay, so I'm going to connect this. This is the field wire here now. So I'm going to take one of Mike's nice new screws here and get my fat fingers on it. All right. So now I'm going to put it through the ground terminal wire here. And then tighten that down. Okay, make sure you put the lock washers on all these screws. So I'm just going to snug this down now. Snug this one. All right, and then snug this one. All right, so all three are snugged down here now. Okay. And this is a little bit redundant here, but using the screws and star washers provided, attach the EVR to the output. Okay, we've already done that right here. We already have the output here wire, so I'm going to tighten this screw back down again. Now remember, we loosened it just so this would pivot out just to move out of the way. All right. Ensure the brush lead terminals are not touching any of the EVR components. Okay, we already talked about that, but again, look underneath it and with your light and just make sure everything is clear and nothing's touching any of the components that could short something out. Okay, tighten output brush two and the field coil terminals firmly to ensure electrical connections are good. Okay, so we've already done that, but again, we'll just make sure these are snug here. All three of them are snug. Okay. All right. Okay, then now we're going to go continuing down. This is page 3, step 9. Install the supplied green ground bonding wire by attaching to the ground brush screw on top of the EVR to the case as shown in the above pictures. So that's this green wire that comes with the EVR. This is how we need to ground it. So what I'm going to do is just loosen this screw right here. This is one of the 3 leg screws that holds the brush ring to the generator body. And put that terminal underneath it. And tighten it back up again. All right, making sure that's just in so it doesn't get in the way of the cover going on. Okay, step 10, ensure the EVR components are not touching any of the posts or the brush springs. Ensure brushes can move freely and properly contact the commutator. So these are your brushes here. Make sure nothing is in the way, and it shouldn't be. And again, look there with your light. Just look closely underneath to make sure everything is clear and there's nothing interfering. Step 11, check the clearances between the wires, terminals, and case to avoid shorts. Okay, we just said that. Replace the cover and install the generator on the vehicle. So that's the installation of the 5-brush Powerhouse EVR that Mike Hill makes. His instructions are really good and really clear. Again, you can look real closely at the photograph. If you pull it up on your computer, you can zoom in on his photos. But I wanted to show the process and show how to do it. Really, it's not hard. Again, the trickiest part is bending the terminal for this output brush, bending it over 90 degrees, and then positioning it right so it doesn't touch any of those components underneath the EVR. This output brush here. I'm sorry, this is the ground. I mentioned you're bending the ground brush terminal. This output brush here, this flag terminal doesn't need to be bent. It will work just lined up just the way it is, just pointing straight out. But getting those and just getting it lined up, putting it on and attaching it, and that's it. These EVRs work really, really well. I run them on my cars. I've got a 31 Model A pickup with a long type generator. I have one on. I also have a 35 Ford 4-door touring car that I've installed one, and I've been running them for several years. They work really well. So anyway, this is just a short overview of how to install the 5-brush Powerhouse EVR. I hope you find this helpful, but this is meant to be used along with Mike's instructions. So make sure you follow his instructions, read through his instructions a couple times, and watch this video before you start and get all your parts laid out. And you can see it's not hard at all to do. So, hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you found this helpful. If you liked the video, please like it and subscribe to my channel, and I'll have more stuff coming out soon. All right, take care.